Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. Sweet. We are here. What's going on, Big Dave?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, we're gonna drop our pants and get a little naked today.
That's right. That's my type of live.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we are going to review the past. We're gonna take a studio and we're gonna look at the past 3 years. Anybody can have a good year, right? Consistency is what is key. That is what helps us sleep at night, which is not always easy to do. Every single thing in our industry is changing at a pretty rapid pace. And if you're not keeping up, you can do well for a period of time and you find yourself falling off. So, man, keeping up with what's going on, what's working, what's no longer working is so important. Dave, even studio to studio, we have different challenges. One thing that works at one does not work at another. And we're seeing that a lot. So what we want to show in this, we want to show you what can be done consistently over time if you really knock the fundamentals out of the park. We have not done anything fancy at this gym. And in fact, the more detailed and more complicated you make your systems and run your business, the harder it is to sustain, the harder it is to scale up and out. So should we just get right into the P&Ls?
That's it. No flirting. Naked.
So you guys are going to laugh because this is actually, let me share. I can share the screen now, actually, because I changed my resolution. Yeah, because I'm going to flip between Excel because we're going to break this down. I know a lot of you are wondering, hey, what percentage is your labor? What percentage is your rent and your fixed expenses? What percentage are you advertising? So I'm going to show it all to you. So we're pulling up 2020 first. So we're going to look at 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So 4 years, excuse me. I figured, why not? COVID obviously happened in 2020, so it was a little awkward and weird. What I did on this, on these P&Ls, I took out any PPP money, so you can't see that. Also, so you can see our net profit at the end of here. It was $247,000 in 2020. Pretty good considering that was a COVID year. Doesn't include PPP or anything like that. I also took out, so I have operating partners that run this location. So I don't work in this location. I have operating partners. Together we own all of it. We do pay them for working in the business as well, not just in profit. Because that has their names attached to it, I took that out too. So when you look at $247,000, that's the total profit or the total pay that went to all of the owners. We didn't separate it out equally with our profit distributions because they're working the business and I'm not. Okay, so that's just one thing I want to make it known. I like to be fully transparent with everything. So January 2020 to December 31st, 2020, $423,000 in revenue, which is pretty good. Now, Arizona did not shut down as long as other states, so we got lucky in that matter. Advertising, we only spent $7,400. We did do some equipment, buy some equipment, so it's almost 15 grand there for equipment and maintenance. Labor is sitting at 60,000. So and I'll break this down. I'll put it side by side with all the years first. So let's just take a look at that. All right, so we got 2021, and this is in Quicken, guys, not QuickBooks, which, like, this is the Mickey Mouse version. The reason why this is still in the Mickey Mouse version of Quicken is because back when I was starting in 2012, I had no freaking idea how to use QuickBooks, and I still don't. And it was just all the books were done in Quicken, which I don't advise necessarily, but it's such a simple business. I mean, it's a cash-based business. It's very easy to do. So I never complicated and switched over bookkeeping softwares for the studios. So that being said, I can't zoom in on here. So if it's a little small, my apologies. This program sucks. But anyways, all right. So we're going to look at, let's just look at them all. So custom dates. Let's look at, here we go. January 1st, 2020. Let's go all the way to December 31st, 2023. Okay, this will divide it up into the years. So 2020 finished at 423K in revenue. 2021, 450,000. 2022, 585,000. And last year, 570,000, almost 571. So you can see we're very consistent. It's growing, but we're pretty consistent. We slightly less revenue last year, a trivial amount, but pretty good because I know 2023 was challenging for a lot of people. So you look at over the 4 years, including all the COVID years, we're still doing over 2 million in 4 years, which is pretty good, averaging a little over 500K per year. Here's what you're going to notice. Advertising costs, okay? Those are pretty low. I'm going to get a spreadsheet. We're going to look at what percentage these things are. But if you look at it, we're spending around 10 grand a year, maybe less. So not a whole lot. There's a reason for that, and I'm going to tell you why, so don't go anywhere. Equipment and maintenance is virtually nothing. Obviously, we bought a chunk of equipment in 2020. Fees and processing charges, of course, those are your credit card fees. 60 grand over the 4 years, looks like. Insurance, you have that. Why is this missing in 2022, 2023? Probably because I filed it under something else like miscellaneous accidentally. Labor. So this is what you're going to see. So this is really important. Now you'll see increasing labor, right? Labor in 2020 was 60,000, 72,000 2021, 149, 162,000 in 2023. So it's going up. Reason it was so low in 2020 and 2021 was because of COVID, right? A lot of people went away. Not many people came to work. We didn't have much, all that kind of stuff. The partners were doing more of the labor on the service of this. Now, as time goes on, and the cool thing is like, got a partner's doing an awesome online coaching business on this too. They're working less in the business and doing less of the service. So you'll see labor going up in these years because they're doing less work, right? Because I factored out the owner pay in this. Miscellaneous expenses is just stuff here and there. Rent. So you can see on average, we're paying, a little over 60 grand a year. So 5,200 bucks is what it is right now. You see it goes up. We had a little bit of a break. We probably got comped a month or two in 2020. B2B expenses. So this is some stuff for, I don't even remember what's in there. We have taxes, accounting stuff. We have, what else is in B2B? There's a company that does a little bit of organic stuff for us that we pay in there. To be honest, I got to click on one of these to open it up. Website stuff is in there. And these online transfers, oh yeah, that is our website. So one of the partners paying on the personal card, we haven't moved it to the business card, so we did these transfers for that stuff. So there's that stuff and the accounting fees. We have utilities, laundry, water, electricity, internet. That's about it. And supplies and office, which is just trivial amounts there. So you can look at, over the course of 4 years, we had in expenses, we had $1,115,742. Sorry, that was the profit, excuse me. The expenses were $912,886 divided by the total revenue, which is over 2,028,628. So you can see that's a 45%, if I did that math correctly, 45% profit margin for this whole thing, which is pretty good, which is pretty darn good, considering I know a lot of targets are putting you at 15, maybe 20%. I don't like that. I like to make a lot of money out of a location. You're taking a lot of risk on, a shit ton of risk, and you need to get well compensated for that too. So here's what I did. I took this and I went to export, copy to clipboard, and I put this in an Excel file right here. So I copied that data right here. We have the 4 years and the corresponding categories. It's a little goofy because the totals looking the same, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at what percentages of revenue are these things. And guys, stick with me on this stuff because it's going to be great for you to know A, but B, what I'm going to do is show you exactly how we got these results. So 50 grand a month on average, a little bit more. It's pretty good, right? Or whatever it is, 500K a year. Obviously, we're more at like 50 grand a month averaging now, a little bit less than those early COVID years. That's pretty good. It's not the greatest in the world. Okay. We're not doing $1 million, but guess what? This studio is only, 2,100 square feet. Okay. So we do have some size and space issues in there. In addition, it's doing, around 300, average in the last 2 years, it's doing like 300 grand in profit per year. Now that's pretty good. I'll take that over in a 7-figure gym that's maybe only doing 15% profit, 20% profit, 30% profit. That's just how it works out. So it's pretty darn profitable. So I put in here the revenue. Now that excludes any PPP money, right? So we didn't want to confuse that. Advertising. So let's take a look. We're going to do the formulas together right here. We're going to take that 40.
Big Scott, hate to interrupt. We're actually live on your personal page. I just got a comment.
Son of a bitch.
Don't curse on your personal page either, man. We could continue and probably tag everyone inside of this post who wanted to join, or we could transition it to the group. I'll leave that up to you. I just got.
In my post earlier today, I said this is only going to be going in the group because we're doing
I know
the financials. So fucking blew that one.
It happens.
Oh, all right. Well, that's because I had to refresh the page. We had that error and I didn't double check it. Shit.
All right.
All right. Anyways, the world's going to see it. Okay. So advertising. Let's think. That's ridiculous. All right. Well, we're showing more than we want to, but that's okay. So advertising dollars. Here we go. We're going to take J15 divided by J, whatever that is, 12. So that's only 1.8%. Now, I know a lot of you guys here, like 10% should go to your ad spend. That's not bad advice. I will tell you why we only do that at this location and how we're able to get these awesome results because of that. Let's take a look at labor. So we'll take the total of the 4 years, divide that out of the total income. We're looking at 21.9%, 22%. Now, what I wanted to tell you, what I did, is this doesn't include what we're paying the operator to run this business. And there's 2 of them, one kind of full-time operator who is a co-owner and the other is part-time. So what I did up here, I looked those up for you and put what we were paying them separately in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. As you can see, it goes down. Just like I said, why? Because they're doing less and less of the service. When COVID hit, there's not many people in the building to get around all the stuff. So they were doing more. Now they're doing less. So what I wanted to do was kind of factor that in to see what if they were doing no service, what would this look like? So let's take the labor. See if I can get these formulas on the spot here. So we're going to take that and then we're going to add each of these years. So we can get a sense of that. Now we're probably paying them a little bit more than we would a staff member. Shoot. So we got to do that. And then we divide that by the total revenue, right? So we're at about 50%, including all the pay to the owners. Okay. Which again, we pay them a lot more because why? Because they're running everything. And that includes like everything. So we're talking sales, we're talking admin, we're talking everything. So we're running about right there. Actually, that doesn't make sense, does it, Dave? Did I do that right?
I think it looks right. Yeah.
Okay. There's no way it could be. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's right. But how is our profit? I don't know. We'll figure this out in a minute. Rent. So rent is going to be 12%. Okay. Rent is 12%. Now, there's other expenses, right? There's utilities, there's services, there's some of the different things like that. So, but if we take, if we look at everything else, so we got 1 minus the rent. Sorry, we're going to keep rent in there. So we're going to take a look at like rent and all the other, fixed expenses relatively. So we'll subtract out the labor that we pay to the employees minus the ads, right? So That's not right either. Excuse me, guys. So let's take let's go with the dollar amounts. We'll take the expenses, and we're going to subtract out labor, and we're going to subtract out advertising. And let me turn this into a dollar amount. So $432,000. Now we'll take that one and divide it out of the total revenue. So we're looking at 21.3% with all the others. So we're looking at ads, 1.8%. Rent and all the other expenses to keep this thing going, and equipment, maintenance, electricity, internet, 21.3%. We're looking at the labor to staff at 22%, including all the owner pay and everything like that. It's 49.6%. So yeah, that's all correct.
Yeah.
So yep, that all shakes out. That's all good. And so let's look at what's the percentage of net profit. So let's take that 1.1 million, divide that out by the 2 and change. So looks like I did the calculation wrong when I was just ad-libbing it over there. So that's 55% net profit, like going to total ownership, which is pretty damn good. Now, the reason why it's a 55% net profit margin, and the only reason is because we have the 2 owner operators that are working in there. So if we factor out owner draw, now, again, it would be better than that, but because we're paying them a little bit more, but we will take the expenses and add in, what are we going to add in? This. Shoot, let me just do this on a calculator. It's going to be easier. Plus 141 plus 130 plus 121,000 equals, so that's 561,000, right? We're going to add that to the 912,886. We'll divide that out by 2,028,628. And we have that minus 1. Is that right? I should have been prepared on this a little bit more.
I like how you're gunslinging it here. Like, you're the Excel genius. So the numbers
It got me flustered. As soon as you said I put this out on my personal one, I'm like, shit. And all of a sudden my brain's not working. I did not mean for this to get out into the world, but here we are. But yeah, so we got 561, 14. Yeah, 14. That total is 561,000 plus 912,000. That's the total expenses, right? So about 101.473 million. Okay, that's what we got to do. We got to subtract out the revenue and then we divide it. So cool. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 27%. 27%. And like I said, we're overpaying them for everything. But this is exactly within the metrics that we tell you we want. We want you. So I'll write that down for you guys so you have it too. So factoring out owner draw, that was like 27.5% net profit, which is fucking good. So that's if like, hey, all the owners like, I want to go into retirement, right? That's what it would look like. Now it'd be higher than that. It'd be a little over 30% because, like I said, we're overpaying them for certain things and money well spent. But that's exactly what we want. What we want you guys to have is net profit between 30 and 50%. This is way more than everybody else tells you about. Okay. If you're an owner operator, I want you, and this, and you can go higher than 50%. Like I said, this is at 55%. But if you're an owner operator and working full time in there, you can achieve profit margins of 50% or greater. If you are not an owner operator, and you're totally out of it, and you're just, hey, I spend a couple hours a week managing the place and this and that, you might be closer to 30% or a little bit shy of that, and that's okay. But the 30 to 50% is where we want to see you. We don't want to see you at 10%. We don't want to see you at 15. We don't want to see you at 20. Those margins are just too thin especially for those of you who don't want to be working 40, 50 hours a week. It's really hard, and that's where you get stuck. You get trapped in the business, or maybe your pain point's the other way. It's not like, hey, my business is doing okay, but I want to really grow. I want to do multiple locations. I want to do real estate investing. I want to build an amazing life. You need these profits higher in order to do that, or else there's no money for you to take your time and concentrate it elsewhere. So that you have the ability to go all in on other things, multiple locations, whatever the heck it is for you. You need to be able to do this. So this is the target that at PT Legends and all the gym owners we were at that we want 30 to 50%. 30 to 50%. Some of our people have downsized. They had, 11,000 square feet. They went down to 4,000 square feet because shit, you're bringing in higher ticket programs. You need far fewer clients. Your revenue. We have one person went from 190 some clients down to like 112 at last count. Went from the 30K-ish month revenue to over 70K a month, while going from 11,000 square feet down to 4,000 square feet. Holy shit. That'll triple profit. Triple. You're crushing it then. So the big question is how? How the heck do we do this? So this location in particular, you can look, we don't do much paid ads. We're doing like 10 grand a month, a little under on average. So, where do we get this from? So a big part of what we do and what we teach is organic acquisition. Now, there's a lot in this, okay? So there's your social media, there's your email, there's your text. But what you can do on social media is incredible. What you can do getting in front of news cameras, which I've done multiple times, which my partners have done multiple times, it's not that hard to get on a news station, actually, if you know the right approach to it. That is one thing that's worked really well here. And then this operator is so consistent. We were talking about the other day, Dave. He doesn't miss a post. He's the most consistent person right?
Period. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Period. And so it's having the right plan and then being consistent with it. That has been everything here. And again, I think I gave you guys the context on this one. This one's only like 2,100 square feet, right? It's not a big location. That's why our rent is only, it's in a decently expensive area, but it's only, $5,300 right now, I think, all in ish. But organic acquisition is hugely important for this. And that is a big backbone of what we do in our gyms. It's a big backbone of what we teach. And the great thing is that shit's free. So we're running into issues where Facebook ads are firing and working at some gyms, Dave, and in other gyms, it's just shitting the bed. It's very market dependent and it's very frustrating. One thing that we do on paid, so we do some Facebook ads, and it depends on where it is and how much. But what we always have done consistently over the years, and I'm showing you this 4-year span, right? This 4-year span on this P&L, what we have always done has been Google Ads. So Google Ads, we do display ad. No, sorry, not display ads, search ads. We intercept people when they're looking for personal training. We've always done that for years. It does very well. We're getting a warmer person who's already problem aware, and they're looking for the right solution. They're not looking for a cheap solution, because we're targeting people who are hitting certain keywords. They're looking for the best solutions. And when we do that, we're going to intercept them right when they're looking to take action on it. And that works really well. So that's a big thing too. Obviously, we have, 2,100 square feet. We're doing good revenue. So one thing that we do is we have high ticket offers. So what's important to us is not getting to 200 members. We can't handle 200 members. What a good thing is to do high ticket offers, like you can just make way more money with fewer people. Way more money with fewer people. A big thing, and God, we get asked about this all the time, Dave, is our big format is overlapping PT. I can't use a dash in this. Overlapping personal training, overlapping PT. Okay. This is a big thing, how we're able to keep our labor down. Our labor down. Obviously, it's getting up there because we're paying our owner operators really well on this one. But the reason why we can get really good margins on this is because, we have overlapping PT. So we're selling personal training that we can work with 1 to 4 people at a time. I know it sounds like semi-private. It's slightly different. I'm a huge fan of semi-private, by the way, but we do no group here. Okay. Used to do group at gyms. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you, all the gyms I know that start doing less large group, more semi-private, more overlapping PT, even one-on-one, which doesn't scale as well, but it's still really good. Those gyms has fared like through COVID very well. Very well. It's so much easier to grow that because adding 10 or 15 people changes the freaking game. If you're a large group and you're spending money on ads, you can add that many, but the churn's high and generally you're not making as much money on it. So it's really hard to get the math on marketing to work for you. So we don't do any group. We use overlapping PT. We also still have one-on-one at this location too, but overlapping PT is just so much more scalable, so much more profitable because we're able to pay less for overlapping PT to the trainer. But it's not like they get the raw end of the stick because they're on average, they may be working with 2.5, 3 people, sometimes 4, sometimes 1. They're going to make way more money than anywhere else. Their hourly rate's actually higher, but we make bigger margins. And our clients are more likely to get the times that work for them. And these lifers, the ones that want to pay to have somebody to have an appointment, holy shit, they love it. They're in it. They're in it on it. So high ticket offers, selling solutions. Selling solutions is big. So you need to learn how to sell nutrition accountability. And I'm not talking about 99 bucks a month. You got to really knock this out. And beyond that, I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's more like being a mentor, providing a mentorship. You're solving the problem that they're coming in. And that really leads into, I mean, really sales. We are probably the best in the world at sales and at selling higher priced offers, which again makes everything else easier or unnecessary. And a large part of that is just all the time spent in it. Dave teaches sales to gym owners around the world, and he's the best in the world at it. But really handling sales and learning how to do that and having the, so you have confidence and you have conviction is so important. If you're just selling group and it's 180 bucks, 220 bucks a month, you know, it might be hard for you to sell something that's 60, 70, 80 session or a 9-week program that's $3,000. Getting some reps in on that, learning the craft and developing your pitch that you're confident in, that you understand it's worth the money, that's everything. When you knock that out, holy shit, you're in good position on sales. And that's probably our secret weapon, I think, Dave.
Oh, yeah, it's not just sales though. It's more of teaching people how to connect with that end user to help them really uncover what's holding them back. And that's such a huge, massive difference between selling a, like what I like to say, $100 program and $1,000 program. So because there's a lot of people that come to us and like they don't have a ton of sales experience. So it's very like, oh, I feel like I'm going to be a used car salesman. I'm selling a $3,000 program. So I know it's a little bit simplified, but it's what I'm most passionate about is teaching gym owners how to connect with that end user. Because if you connect with the end user, they will pay you thousands and thousands of dollars because you're connecting whatever their pain point is to the actual real issue that's going on in their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, guys, it's, I didn't put in there, but on the, yeah, all high ticket offers, there we go. But yeah, you have high ticket offers and you learn how to sell them. You build out these offers and you learn how to connect with somebody. And yeah, you're not selling them. It's not the art of backing them into a corner like they teach at LA Fitness, right? It's not the art of backing them into the corner until they say yes, and because you give them no other option. Okay. It's the art of coaching them into taking action. At the end of the day, most people have been struggling with whatever they're struggling with for 3 years, 4 years, 6, 8, 20, all the time. You meet that all the time. And can you do a good job of connecting with this person and showing them that this is really holding them back in their lives and getting them out of this quick fix mindset, right? This diet, Ozempic, this, you know, this wrap, do this little wrap thing or this freezing thing. And let's, you know what I mean? And, or just throw this down this Ozempic pill. You've got to really connect with them. And when you have that trust and you built that authority from the sales process, we call that the doctor frame. Holy cow. They'll listen to you and they'll be malleable to change and you'll be coaching them into taking action rather than, you know, using sales tricks to get them across the board, which nobody feels comfortable with. Okay, so are we tracking so far? So organic acquisition is super important to how we have done this. Massively important. Do we teach more of this? Yes. Yes, we do. Paid ads. At this particular location, we don't use Meta. We don't do Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. We do Google ads in a specific way to just pull the warm people. And that's just so much easier than Facebook, where they're just scrolling, oh, yeah, that looks good, right? And they're not interested, and it's a lead form. High ticket offers, overlapping personal training. This is really how we bring in a lot more revenue with a lot fewer clients, and how we achieve really good margins on our labor, okay? In this is, yes, you've got to sell the solution, not sessions. Nutrition, accountability, mentorship. You solve the problem that they have, and then you connect with that in the sales call. So that's very important too. There's one last thing I want to mention. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So we try to get so fancy with everything. We'll spend hours redoing a P&L. Or sorry, P&L. We'll spend hours redoing like an SOP or whatever. Like, you just don't need much time. You see that I'm still using Quicken. I'm using Quicken to do these books. Why? Fuck, man. It's not worth my time switching this over to QuickBooks. I'll hire somebody for that eventually. But it's all working, and it's very easy to keep track of. It's a cash business. I don't need to complicate it right now. That's not where I should be spending my time to develop this business. Keep it simple. We do not sell supplements. Okay. We don't have swag here. Maybe there's some stuff in the corner, and I'm not saying don't do these things, right? We don't have kids programs. What else don't we do, Dave?
We don't do anything but the one thing we're really good at.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we don't do we don't do challenges, right? We don't do any of those things. So here's the thing. I'm not saying in all cases don't do these things. But what I'm saying is that to us business owners, it's like a shiny red ball, right? And you're a dog and you just go, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? And you just bounce from one thing to another. And you're not going to make much money off of shirts. You just aren't. I mean, sure, you got revenue, but at the end of the day, you look at it and what's the profit on it and the pain in the ass. All of this stuff will take time and attention. Will it not? If you want to have a new program, it's going to take time and it's going to take attention. If it's going to take your time and attention, you better as shit make sure it's worthwhile. If it's not, you're just, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on a lot of the stuff. I'm not saying subs can't be a big part, but I did just have a call with somebody who's having a really big issue with churn, running an amazing business though, but big issue with churn. And it's running the Prestige Lab stuff on that first thing. It's like, you're having this authentic, he's nailing his consult. He's doing incredibly well, right? It's expensive, but he's getting it. But here's the thing. The next thing where you onboard them, the next session where they onboard them, build out kind of their nutrition and walk them through, all it is a giant sales pitch to buy really expensive supplements. And guess what you're doing right there? You're breaking a lot of trust. And I'm not saying don't sell supplements. I'm saying, like, you're trying to get people in packages that's like $300, $400, $500 a month or this or that. And like, here's the thing. That's not the lowest hanging fruit for somebody who's struggled with their weight for 20 years too. They don't need to be loading up on all these different kind of supplements. Guys, just be authentic. Like, keep it simple. Don't worry about selling ancillaries unless it's vital to your program. Don't worry about it. You could be, in this case, who's breaking trust. And people are like, hey, yeah, you're on the more expensive end, but I see the value in this. I want to do this. The very next thing, it's just like, hey, let's get you set up on a package of this. It's like, I already just spent this amount of money and you're asking me to do this right off the bat. It's inauthentic, right? And there's bigger fish to fry with nutrition. Let's be real. So, you could be trying to do too many things and it's costing your time or attention. You could be breaking trust somewhere. People don't want, this is why I hated Lifetime. Well, I don't want to be too harsh. I learned a lot at Lifetime Fitness when I was working there. And, I ended up having like 25 trainers on staff as I was the PT department head. But I didn't like how they were making mandatory all the supplements, because you know what? Sometimes it's not the right thing for somebody. Don't sell something if it's not the right thing for somebody. I lost that ability a long time ago. I can't do it. I can't sell something I don't believe in. And if it's not the right thing for somebody, I don't want to do it. So keep it simple. The less you do, the more you can focus on the one thing. Like, keep it simple. Whatever you're the best in the world at, do that. Do that. I should say also in this organic acquisition, business partnerships have helped tremendously. 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses that know, like, trust, and like you that you can refer out. Now, there's a specific way you have to do it because most of it falls flat. We all know that. We've tried. It goes nowhere. It does take some effort, but once you establish a really good relationship, it's just an ongoing revenue stream that is free, that benefits literally everybody. Everybody. Us as business owners, the business partners over there, whether it's a chiro, whether it's a tanning salon, whatever it is, shoot, you knock those down, it's just a steady drip of clients for you and them, and everybody wins. So it's kind of these big factors that have been instrumental. Now, you might be wanting some more detail on, hey, how are you doing your Google ads? How are you doing your organic acquisition? What does the content look like to bring these people in? The business partnerships, how do you structure those? Your offers, overlapping PT, all that kind of stuff. When you offer nutrition and your mentorship, how do you position and sell that? How do you fulfill on that it's worth that people will keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, and you have low churn. And even though you're more expensive than your competitors, it's worth every penny. And how do you sell that? So for those of you wondering exactly kind of how we've done that and how I don't know where that other sheet went. That's gone. That's Quicken for you. We can go back to here. So how do you do it where you're bringing in, $300,000 in profit in a single location that's 2,100 square feet? We have 2 things that can help you. So we have 2 things that can help you. We have a high ticket program. We'll help build out high ticket offers and teach you how to sell the living heck out of them and work on your organic acquisition. That's like our express program that we take 12 weeks and we crush it with you. Our bigger program, though, that we see the biggest growth out of is we have a year-long mentorship. It's a mastermind with insane gyms. We just had an in-person meetup in February in Scottsdale. It was a freaking blast. We rented a mansion, and we came and we had a private chef, and we shared everything, and we grew together. We got a lot of work done, had a lot of fun. I can't tell you that if you're not meeting up with these people, if you don't have a group that you can get these tactics from and hold you accountable and bring you along with you, you need to find that. Dave, you and I did not do this for years. Like, we were just operating on our islands, and it wasn't fun and it was challenging and it was scary because, like, you're joining a group of people you don't know, you're spending money for it. Do they know anything more than I do? I don't know. It took us a while to find really good people. Oddly enough, outside of the gym industry is where we found a lot of the mentorship that helped our gyms become very successful. We had to do a lot of bouncing around, but when we put this stuff together, holy cow, starting in 2020, things really ticked up. I mean, we were doing well for a while, but also our first 6 years in business sucked. It was hard. It was rough. But yeah, guys, those of you who are stuck at a certain point, I don't know if you'll qualify to work with us. We do have some revenue limits. We have some other resources if you don't meet them that we can give to you, but we have 2 ways. We have an express program, and then we've got a mastermind full of the best gym owners where we teach you all of these things. So all of these things that I mentioned on here, we will teach you. So if that sounds like, if you want to get more information on that, how much it costs, how do you start, if it would be a good fit for you or not, or if sometimes it's not. Sometimes we'll tell you, no, we got resources in the industry, I would go here. So bottom line is, if you want to learn more of this, comment legend. You can also shoot me a DM. Obviously, I'm blasting this out to the entire Facebook instead of the personal Facebook group. Shit. But you can DM me or comment legend. What we will do is hop on a call. If you meet our criteria, awesome. We can talk about both solutions with you, see if it's a good fit or not for where you're at right now. If you don't meet our criteria, we probably have some awesome free resources that will connect you to, and hopefully you can get up to that level at the same time. If you're an independent trainer too, we're developing a program specifically for that and for those that may want to get their own locations as well. So that's pretty cool. Not finalized, but it's there. Did I leave anything else out, Dave?
We got a question. It's a good question. It could be a separate training. John Carlo out of Chile, one of our newest legends, has this
Hell yeah.
one. I'll be interested in your take. I have a take. I think we're going to be on the same page on this one. John Carlo asks, is organic acquisition the main way to advertise because the cost of Facebook ads is really high at the moment? If they weren't that expensive, would you be doing Facebook ads as the main way to advertise? Great
Ooh,
question, John Carlo.
great question. That's a great question. This is hard because my answer would have been different a few months ago, like 6 months ago. It could be different 6 months from now. So just keep that into play. Like this is the end of March 2024 when we're doing this. So the answer to this might change. But here's the thing. So many gyms are really reliant on Meta. In certain markets, it does pretty well. Now, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Like the gold standard, if you get 100 leads in the door, you are going to get 10% across the board. Now, that's really good. Everything's got to work. You got to be really tight. You have to have your automations working for you, yes. But you've got to have people that can get to these people fast too. I see roughly, the gyms are doing it well. They're getting half of their appointments booked with automations, half from just reach outs as fast as you can, okay? And as many times as you can. It's a lot of freaking work. Now, in my studios where I don't have to do that, I don't want to do that. So we don't. So you notice, like, yeah, we're only spending $9,000. You know, last year we spent $9,400 on ads, and that was Google AdWords for the most part. We're not doing any Facebook ads here, okay? Because we don't need to. And that's awesome. Now, in some that we do, we've been having some issues in the last couple months with Facebook ads, and we're going more into Google AdWords. It's weird. The market shifts. There has been a shift this year where, at least in our markets, and it's totally different. Sometimes Facebook ads kill in certain markets and they just blow it up and do really well. And in other markets, it'll bring you the scuzziest people in the world, regardless of how you change your copy, regardless of how you filter. It is just people looking like, oh, dude, I was looking to spend $19 a month at Planet Fitness. And even if your copy and everything is geared more towards the higher end people, it happens. So Facebook, bottom line is it can be a very good tool and it cannot be a very good tool. It depends exactly what you're doing, how you're changing your copy, keeping it fresh, your exact tactics on it. There's a lot of nuance to it, put it that way. And it's always changing. You know, a lot of people out there are still pushing the play in 2016, right? The free 6-week challenge, which kind of ruined a lot for everybody. It worked, but you see sky high churn. It's a lot of work, and it doesn't work in a lot of markets now, especially at the $5.99, like selling something at $5.99. The math flat out doesn't work in certain markets because, yes, what you're seeing in Facebook is the cost per ads are climbing a little bit, but it's not even the cost per ads that's alarming. It is the response rate of these people has really fallen off a cliff. So it's a lot more effort and a lot more trouble to make it happen. It's not dead, though. It's not dead. But here, because we're good, we choose not to do it. The great thing about Google Ads, you intercept them right when they're looking for a solution. So that's why we like those a little bit more. But again, I have a meeting tomorrow with a specialist we're diving deep on everything. And long-term Facebook plays, not just short-term. You got to mix in different things. And there are different ways to do it, right? You can get your video ads out there, 3 cents for somebody to see it. You can start to retarget people who have watched it X amount of seconds. And they can see some better responses because it's not just a blatant call to action that people are scrolling, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And they put in, they just click the button and there you go. There's a lot of variables in that one, but great question. Great question. I'm surprised somebody found this since it was on live on my personal one and not in the group.
Yeah, we got 10 people watching. So
hey, caught people by surprise there. They're like, why not? We'll tune into these jokers.
Can I chime in? I have so for me with nutrition, I gotta have to keep my nutrition fun. So I'm like the chicken sandwich guy. Okay. The way that my new analogy, Facebook ads is not fun. It would be like me doing keto. It's not fun. Does it work? Yes, it does work if you go all in. It is not fun. In my opinion, it's not sustainable for the long haul. Organic, on the other end, it's fun. Why? Because you get to put your story out there. You get to put your client stories. The stats really show if I get someone that comes to a green light location because they're seeing who we are, what we are, we're the leaders in transformation, they're going to purchase a higher ticket program at 80% of the time. With Facebook ads, you're looking at 10 to 20%. So that's kind of my answer, John Carlo. It's like Facebook ads do work if you go all in. It's not very fun. And most people are going to burn out within 3 to 6 months. Organic, it does take a little bit longer to work. So you have to give yourself a longer time horizon. But once it does work, and who we're showing right here, he's been consistent with his social media, not just for 3 days or 3 months, but for 6 years. So that's why this location should never run a Facebook ad. So that's kind of my new analogy is if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. Organic to me, especially if you have an offer you believe in, it's going to be a home run.
1000%. And there's a lot in this organic acquisition. There's a lot. It's not just what you post, right? There's other things too. And again, this is what we talk about in the masterminds. So if you want to learn how to get on TV, right? And once you get on TV, it's not very difficult to get on TV multiple times. He's been on TV multiple times. I've been on TV multiple times. And the consistency on that, I can't tell you what that does. And yeah, these segments are kind of Mickey Mouse quite often. And they're only, 30, 60 seconds. 90 seconds long, but shoot, over time, that does really well. And when people drive by your place or this or that, they see the ad, they're like, oh, that's from Fox News, right? That's from ABC, Good Morning Arizona. They connect the dots. And the main thing is, so look at the sustainability. This is what I wanted to show, guys. The sustainability of this. This isn't like, hey, we had a good year because Facebook ads were hot, in whatever it was, and then they fizzled out later and your business fell apart. I want you to build a sustainable business that can give you the financial security and the abundance that you need. And so, yes, Facebook ads can be a part of that 100%, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because if there's a market shift, there's an algorithm shift, you could be in a really bad spot. And could we do them here and boost revenue? Yes, but it also throws a wrench into a really well-oiled machine that's doing 300K in profit a year, right? So, and that kind of keeps it down to the KISS principle. I'm not doing it here because, fuck, why bother? And we've got capacity issues here anyways, right? It's only 2,100 square feet. We don't have room to expand it, and that's okay. This thing, I think a lot of you would be happy with a $300,000 profit location that you're not working full-time in, right? So, yeah, that's it, guys. The net profit, this is where we want you, 30 to 50%. All of this. And so Dave and I would love to have a conversation with you if you need some help doing this. So most of you are probably going to watch this later since I have to now post it inside of our Gym Owner Freedom group. So you can either comment legend below or shoot me a DM. We can hop on a call. It's not a pressure call, guys. It's not a pressure call at all. Tell me where you're at, what your obstacles are, and I'll tell you what I would do in your situation. If our express program, we can help you in 8 to 12 weeks. Awesome. Let's do it. If it's the full mastermind and really building this thing out, let's do it. If you just want to take the pointers and a couple of free resources and do it on your own, makes me happy too. Keep me in the loop on how you're doing. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will get this in the Facebook group after. We will come every Thursday inside the Facebook group, 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST to train you on the different aspects of how to run a successful business like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.